Welcome to our deep dive into beating those winter blues. You sent over some great sources on seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, and how to tackle it naturally, I have to say. Prepping for this has been a real eye-opener, especially learning about the science behind those cravings for comfort food, this time of year.
It is interesting how often SAD gets brushed off as
Hmm.
feeling a bit down.
Yeah,
In reality, it's much more complex, and it involves a whole cascade of factors.
right. It's not just the weather making us grumpy. So, to kick things off, let's clarify what SAD actually is.
Essentially, it's a type of depression with a strong link to the changing seasons,
Mm.
usually rearing its head in the fall and winter months. We're talking about persistent sadness, low energy, sleep disturbances, and even difficulty concentrating. It can really impact your day-to-day life.
It sounds like it goes way beyond just a touch of the winter blues. You mentioned it's linked to the seasons, but why does it happen?
Well, think of it as a perfect storm of biological, psychological, and environmental factors. Our internal clock, circadian rhythm, gets disrupted when the days become shorter, and we're exposed to less sunlight.
That makes sense. Our bodies are so in tune with the natural rhythms of day and night.
Exactly, and this disruption, it can really throw off our hormones. For example,
Yeah.
serotonin, often called the happy hormone, takes a dip when sunlight decreases, which can lead to feeling down. At the same time, melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep, can get out of whack, messing with your sleep patterns.
So, less sunshine means our happy hormones plummet and our sleep goes haywire. And those carb cravings I mentioned earlier,
Those are actually tied to those low serotonin levels. Your body craves simple carbs because they provide a quick boost of energy and a temporary mood lift, trying to compensate for that lack of serotonin. It's a bit of a vicious cycle, though, as those sugary treats often lead to an energy crash later on.
that explains a lot. The sources also mention vitamin D. How does that fit into the picture?
Sunlight is crucial for our bodies to produce vitamin D, and research has linked vitamin D deficiency to depression during winter. When we tend to spend more time indoors and get less sun exposure, our vitamin D levels can dip, further contributing to those SAD symptoms.
It's amazing how interconnected everything is. So, we've got the biological factors, but what about the psychological impact of winter?
The bleakness of winter, the cold temperatures, shorter days, and the potential for social isolation can certainly take a toll on our mental well-being. Even the holiday season, with its potential for stress and pressure, can exacerbate SAD symptoms for some people.
It seems like winter really throws a lot of curveballs our way. But before we get too bogged down in the doom and gloom, let's talk about some natural remedies that can help us navigate these challenges. The sources all point to natural light as being essential.
Think of natural light as the conductor of your internal orchestra. It keeps those crucial hormones like serotonin and melatonin in balance. Maximizing your exposure to natural light is a cornerstone of combating SAD.
Soaking up the sun whenever we can is a great starting point. The sources also offer some pretty clever tips for maximizing light at home, even when the sun isn't cooperating.
Absolutely. Rearranging your furniture to capture more sunlight streaming through windows can make a difference. Light filtering curtains are great for letting in those soft, mood-boosting rays, even on cloudy days. And strategically placed mirrors can help amplify the light, making your space feel brighter and more cheerful.
I love those tips. They're so simple yet effective. And of course, there's no substitute for actually getting outside and enjoying some fresh air and sunshine.
Even a short walk during your lunch break, especially when the sunlight is strongest, can do wonders for your mood and energy levels. It's like hitting the reset button on your internal clock.
And the benefits of being in nature go beyond just light exposure, right? The sources talk about how spending time outdoors can have a profound impact on both our mental and physical health.
Nature acts like a multivitamin for our minds and bodies. Studies show that spending time outdoors reduces anxiety and depression, promotes relaxation, and improves cognitive function. It also encourages physical activity, which releases those feel-good endorphins, boosting your mood even further.
It's like a double dose of happy hormones from the sunlight and the exercise. And let's not forget the social aspect. Being outdoors often means connecting with others, whether it's going for a walk with a friend, joining an outdoor fitness class, or simply striking up a conversation with someone at the park.
That social interaction is vital, especially during winter when we tend to isolate ourselves more. Group activities, in particular, can be incredibly beneficial for combating SAD-related loneliness and fostering a sense of belonging.
It seems like winter offers a surprising number of opportunities. For outdoor fun and connection, I'm already picturing snowy hikes, ice skating adventures, and cozy bonfires with friends.
Exactly. There are so many ways to embrace the season, and make the most of those crisp, sunny days.
And speaking of things that make winter a little brighter, let's talk about food. Our sources dive deep into how what we eat impacts our mood, especially during those darker months.
It's true, you are what you eat, not just physically, but mentally as well. What you consume, it directly affects your energy levels, your brain chemistry, and your overall emotional well-being.
The sources really emphasize omega-3 fatty acids as being crucial for mood regulation. They're like tiny superheroes fighting off those winter blues.
They really are. Studies have shown that omega-3s can reduce depressive symptoms and improve mood. And the good news is, they're readily available in delicious foods like salmon, mackerel, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds.
I'm already adding this to my grocery list. What are some other mood-boosting foods we should be focusing on?
Colorful fruits and vegetables are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support overall health and well-being. For example, bananas contain tryptophan, which is a precursor to serotonin, so they can help boost your mood. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale are rich in folate, another nutrient linked to mood regulation.
So, we're talking vibrant colors and leafy greens. What about those times when we're craving comfort food?
Even then, we can make smart choices. Instead of reaching for sugary treats that provide a temporary energy spike followed by a crash, opt for complex carbohydrates like oats, quinoa, and brown rice. They provide sustained energy, which can have a positive impact on your mood and keep you feeling fuller for longer.
And of course, protein is essential too, right?
Absolutely. Lean proteins like poultry, fish, legumes, and tofu are building blocks for neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers in the brain that regulate mood.
And I've heard that gut health plays a role in mental well-being.
It's true. The gut-brain connection is a fascinating area of research, and it's becoming increasingly clear that a healthy gut can positively impact our mood. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and kimchi are great for supporting gut health.
I love a good kimchi stew on a cold winter day. So we're talking omega-3s, vibrant fruits and veggies, complex carbs, lean proteins, and fermented foods. Are there any other culinary secrets for beating the winter blues?
We can't forget about dark chocolate. It contains mood-boosting compounds and can provide a little indulgence, in moderation, of course. Just be sure to choose high cocoa content varieties for the most benefits.
Dark chocolate is always a good idea. So we've covered light, nature, and food. What's next in our arsenal of natural remedies?
Well, let's not underestimate the power of plants. Herbal allies have a long history of use for supporting mood and overall well-being, and they can be a valuable addition to your SAD fighting toolkit.
Tell me more. What are some of these herbal heroes?
One well-studied herb is St. John's wort, which has been shown to be effective for mild to moderate depression. It might be helpful for SAD as well.
It's important to note that St. John's wort can interact with certain medications, so it's crucial to talk to your doctor before adding it to your routine.
Exactly. Always consult with your healthcare provider to make sure any herbal remedies are safe and appropriate for you. Another category of herbs that can be helpful are adaptogens. These are plants that help our bodies adapt to stress, promoting resilience and a sense of calm.
Adaptogens sound pretty amazing. What are some examples?
Ashwagandha and rhodiola are two popular adaptogens that have been traditionally used for reducing stress, improving energy levels, and supporting overall well-being.
So, we're adding St. John's wort, ashwagandha, and rhodiola to our list of natural allies. It's amazing how much power nature holds. But beyond herbs and supplements, are there any other practices that can help us cultivate a sense of inner peace, especially during the darker months?
That's where the power of the mind comes in. Mindfulness and meditation can be incredibly helpful for managing SAD and boosting your overall well-being. They provide tools to calm the mind, reduce stress, and navigate challenging emotions with more grace and ease.
This is getting really interesting. Let's dive into the world of mindfulness and meditation in our next segment.
Welcome back. We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? It's fascinating how these natural remedies are all interconnected.
I know. I'm feeling really inspired to put some of these tips into practice. Last time, we were about to explore mindfulness and meditation. I'm curious to hear more about how these practices can help us combat those winter blues.
Mindfulness is all about being present in the moment, acknowledging our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's about creating a sense of space between our experiences and our reactions to them.
So instead of getting swept away by negative thoughts or feeling overwhelmed by stress, we learn to observe them with a sense of detachment.
Exactly. This skill is especially helpful during the winter months, when it's easy to fall into patterns of negative thinking or rumination. Mindfulness helps us to step back, observe those thoughts, and choose how we want to respond to them.
It sounds like a powerful way to regain a sense of control, especially during a time when things can feel a bit out of control. The sources mention various meditation techniques. Can you walk me through a few of them?
Of course. One technique is guided imagery, which involves listening to a recording that guides you. Through visualizing peaceful scenes, imagine a sunny beach, a lush forest, or any place that brings you a sense of calm and joy. The idea is to evoke those feelings of relaxation and well-being.
That sounds lovely. I can already feel my shoulders relaxing just thinking about it. What are some other techniques?
Another helpful practice is the body scan meditation. This involves bringing your awareness to your physical sensations, starting at the top of your head and moving down to your toes. You simply observe any sensations you notice: warmth, tingling, tightness, without trying to change them.
I've tried body scan meditations before, and they're amazing for releasing tension I didn't even realize I was holding. What else can we explore?
There's also loving kindness meditation, which focuses on cultivating feelings of compassion and kindness towards ourselves and others. You might start by sending kind thoughts to yourself, then to loved ones, to strangers, and even to those you find difficult. It's a powerful way to open your heart and foster a sense of connection.
That's beautiful. And of course, there's the classic mindfulness meditation, which focuses on the breath.
Yes. Breath awareness is foundational to many mindfulness practices. You simply observe the natural rhythm of your breath as it flows in and out, noticing any thoughts or sensations that arise without getting carried away by them. It's a simple yet profound practice for anchoring yourself to the present moment.
The sources also mention breathing exercises as a way to calm the mind and reduce stress. How do those work?
Our breath is like a remote control for our nervous system. When we're stressed or anxious, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid. But by consciously slowing down and deepening our breath, we can signal to our body that it's safe to relax.
It's like hacking our own biology. Are there any specific breathing exercises you recommend?
One simple yet effective technique is diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing. You inhale deeply through your nose, allowing your belly to expand, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. It's a great way to calm down quickly and reduce feelings of overwhelm.
I can see myself using that one. During those hectic holiday gatherings, are there any others?
The 4-7-8 technique is another popular one. It involves inhaling for a count of 4, holding your breath for a count of 7, and exhaling for a count of 8. This rhythmic breathing pattern has a calming effect on the nervous system and can be helpful for reducing anxiety and promoting sleep.
That one's easy to remember. What about those times when we need to focus or de-stress quickly?
Box breathing is a great technique for those situations. It's often used by athletes and military personnel to manage stress and improve performance. You inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4, creating a square shape with your breath.
I love the visual of that. It sounds like a great way to create a sense of calm and clarity. So, we're talking guided imagery, body scans, loving kindness, breath awareness, and breathing exercises. It's amazing how many tools we have at our disposal to cultivate mindfulness.
And the best part is that you don't need any special equipment or a lot of time. You can practice mindfulness anywhere, anytime, simply by bringing your attention to the present moment.
It's about incorporating these practices into our daily lives, little by little, rather than striving for perfection.
Exactly. Consistency is key. Start with a few minutes each day and gradually increase the duration as you feel comfortable. Over time, you'll notice the benefits, not just during your formal practice, but also in your everyday life. You'll become more present, less reactive, and more resilient in the face of challenges.
It's like building a muscle of inner peace, strengthening our ability to navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and ease. We've got mindfulness and meditation to calm our minds, natural light to reset our internal clocks, a whole menu of mood-boosting foods to nourish our bodies, and the support of herbal allies. But we can't forget about the power of human connection, especially during a season that can feel isolating.
That's right. Humans are social creatures.
Yeah.
And connection is essential for our well-being, especially during the winter months. In our next segment, we'll explore practical strategies for cultivating connection and combating social isolation, even when the weather isn't cooperating.
I'm looking forward to that. It's so important to remember that we're not alone in this journey, and there are so many ways to stay connected, even when the days are short and the nights are long. Speaking of light, before we wrap up this segment, I want to touch on a specific type of light therapy that's often recommended for SAD. It's called bright light therapy.
Ah, yes. Bright light therapy is like giving your brain a dose of sunshine, even on the cloudiest of days. It involves exposure to a special lamp, That emits light that's much brighter than regular indoor lighting.
So, we're talking about more than just your average desk lamp. How does it work?
Bright light therapy works by mimicking natural sunlight, helping to reset your internal clock and regulate those crucial hormones we talked about earlier, like serotonin and melatonin. It's often recommended as a first-line treatment for SAD because it can be very effective for reducing symptoms.
That's fascinating. I'm curious to know more about how to incorporate bright light therapy into a daily routine. Is there a specific time of day that's best?
Most experts recommend using a light therapy lamp first thing in the morning for about 20 to 30 minutes. It's like jump-starting your internal clock with a dose of sunshine. You can sit comfortably near the lamp while you enjoy your breakfast or read the news.
That sounds easy enough. Are there any other tips for making light therapy part of a daily routine?
Consistency is key. Try to use the lamp at the same time each day, even on weekends, to keep your internal clock on track. And if you're traveling, consider bringing a portable light therapy device with you to maintain that consistency.
It's all about creating those healthy habits that support our well-being throughout the winter months. And as with any therapy, it's essential to talk to your doctor before starting bright light therapy, just to make sure it's appropriate for you.
Absolutely. It's always best to consult with your healthcare provider, especially if you have any underlying health conditions or are taking any medications. They can help you determine the best course of action for your individual needs.
So, we've got mindfulness, meditation, and light therapy added to our toolkit for beating the winter blues. It's inspiring to see how many natural remedies are available to support us during this season. Are we ready to dive into the world of social connection?
Absolutely. Let's explore how we can nurture those social bonds and combat isolation, even when the weather isn't cooperating.
Welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into conquering those winter blues. It's been quite a journey of discovery, hasn't it? We've explored everything from light therapy and mindfulness to the power of nutrition and herbal allies, but now, let's shift our focus to a crucial element of well-being, one that can be especially challenging during the darker months: social connection.
It really is fascinating how deeply wired we are for connection. It's a fundamental human need. And yet, winter often throws a wrench into our social lives. We tend to retreat indoors, hibernate a bit, and that can lead to feelings of isolation, which can worsen those SAD symptoms.
It's so true. When it's cold and dark outside, it's tempting to just curl up on the couch and avoid the world. But our sources are really clear on this. Actively combating social isolation is key to navigating those winter months. With our well-being intact, what are some strategies for staying connected, when we'd rather be hibernating?
Well, first, let's acknowledge the amazing tools we have at our fingertips. Technology. In this day and age, we can connect with loved ones, friends, and even support groups with just a few clicks.
It's like having a social lifeline, right? Video calls, messaging apps, social media. These platforms allow us to stay connected, even when we can't physically be together.
Exactly. And those connections, even virtual ones, can make a world of difference. Imagine having a virtual coffee date with a friend, joining an online book club, or even attending a virtual yoga class. It's a way to stay engaged, share experiences, and combat that sense of isolation.
I love that. It's about finding creative ways to stay connected and bring a little joy into those darker days. What about those of us who crave deeper connection or shared experiences?
That's where online communities and support groups can be incredibly valuable. There are forums and online groups dedicated to mental health and SAD, where you can connect with others who understand what you're going through. You can share your experiences, offer support, and learn from others who have navigated similar challenges.
It's so comforting to know you're not alone, even when you're physically alone. And sometimes, the simplest gestures can make a big difference, like scheduling regular check-ins with friends and family, even if it's just a quick phone call or text message.
Those little touch points can be incredibly meaningful. They remind us that we're loved, supported, and cared for, and they help us to stay accountable to our well-being goals.
And if in-person interactions are possible, it's worth bundling up and braving the cold, right?
Absolutely. There's something special about face-to-face interactions. Meeting a friend for a walk in the park, attending a yoga class, or even grabbing a coffee can be a mood booster.
Even a quick hello to a neighbor or a chat with the barista at your favorite coffee shop can brighten your day. It's about being present and open to those little moments of connection.
Exactly. And for those who thrive in group settings, there are always indoor activities. Think about joining a book club, taking an art class, volunteering at a local charity, or even starting a board game night with friends. The possibilities are endless.
It's about finding what sparks joy And making an effort to engage with the world, even when those winter blues are whispering, stay inside.
It's like building a fortress of warmth and support to combat those winter blues.
I love that analogy. It's about creating a social ecosystem that nourishes our souls, even during the darkest months. We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, and it's clear that there are so many strategies and resources available to us. But it all comes down to taking action, right?
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, but only when we put it into practice. Take what resonates with you from this deep dive and start incorporating it into your life. Experiment with different approaches. Find what works best for you. And remember that even small steps can make a big difference.
It's about creating a personalized roadmap for well-being, a winter wellness plan that supports your mind, body, and spirit. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Reach out to friends, family, or a mental health professional if you need support.
You are not alone in this journey. And remember, spring will eventually arrive, bringing with it longer days, warmer temperatures, and a renewed sense of hope.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into beating the winter blues. We hope you leave feeling empowered, inspired, and ready to create a winter season that sparks joy and well-being.
Until next time, take care.